Now, in order for me to get you to see this understanding of this seal right here and how it has everything absolutely to do with your dominion, which has been given to you freely as a gift. Now, this is going to relate back to where Jesus Christ, in his own word, says that we have power over these locusts, that we have power over these serpents. Now, this power that we have over them is through our dominion over earth. When we see these locusts being fulfilled in Revelation chapter 9, these locusts have now come through the waterline. They are now in our material presence. They've come into our material world. Well, this is what Christ means. He says that you have power over them, and that's going to be the seal that's talked about in Revelation as it concerns who these locusts can hurt. It says that they can only hurt those that are not sealed with the living God. Well, this seal of the living God is what you're looking at right here. But also this seal represents everything in its geometrical construction, its energy grid, if you will, because beyond the material view, there's an energy construct, and that's what I want you to understand what you're looking at now. Okay, we're looking at, basically, this is going to be the macro version of the seal. As I told you, in any embryonic state, we're going to find out that it forms something known as a morula, and I suggest that you Google this and look it up. We're going to see that a morula represents this form right here, which is known as a hexagon. And we're going to see that they even call the morula an apple. They say that it resembles an apple. Now, that's very interesting because we have that apple symbol in Genesis, which is also the beginning of the planting of an egg, known as the serpent seed, as we see it talked about in Isaiah. The point that I'm trying to make here is that you are going to see this seal, this geometry equation, in what? In everything of material form. Now, when God says, I've given you dominion over the earth, that has to be over everything within the earth construct itself. So the earth is not only material, it is also energy. It's terrestrial energy. So what you're seeing at is an equation that governs terrestrial physics. And when I say terrestrial physics, I mean earthly physics. So that's exactly what this seal is. This seal is an energy equation that governs terrestrial energy. So there's a micro as well as a macro of the repercussions of spiritual energy translated and defined in space-time. So as we know, this symbol is also known as above, so too below. Well, what you're seeing is a hint to what this symbol is all about. The symbol is all about defining or translating spiritual energy into material form, or translating that energy from material form back into spirit. And that's exactly what this equation is, and that's why you're going to see it in everything, not just Saturn, but everything, down to a single cell, down to an atom in its atomic structure, even to the formation of the spheres of time and space, otherwise known as planets. It's in every planet. And it's the seal that God has given us the control over our world with. And at this same time, this is why you're going to see this symbol is big time in the occult, because they know they have to overcome this equation to put themselves into the material world. This is where we're going to get the form or the term known as a hex, because this is where the root comes from. If we know that they have been sealed, they've been bound for a particular amount of time, well, this is where we get that term known as somebody's put a hex on you. Well, the hex that's on them is this seal, otherwise known as the sixth seal, which is barring them from entering our world. They want to remove this seal or this hex, and they need you to do it. I'll be back.